Okay, so just connecting in, just drifting on this cloud, going to meet source. What do you see around you?
I see the cloud, and then it's like almost like the void around the cloud. Like it's very dark, but now like the void is moving and turning and kind of looks like smoke. Like but there's different things going on.
So, what does this void represent?
Okay, so now it's like a room that's all black and it's like this it's a kind of like a weird movie where like you hear the heels of God walking in like dunk dunk dunk. Like it's a very interesting scene. So the void represents anything and everything and nothing at all. The void
So,
represents like existence.
so why did source want to meet you in the void?
To show me that the possibilities of creation start with nothing. That you can, like, in comparison to the world that like I've experienced and lived, that like it comes from the same place that like it's all created from what seems is nothingness, but the nothingness is creation. The nothingness is everything, the existence of everything, all in one place. And that you don't have to have something positive to create something positive in your life, that you can create something positive out of nothingness.
So, what is the nothingness? Is it really nothing?
No, it's every nothing and everything all at the same point.
Okay, so is there one void for this entire universe, or do different realities have their own version of a void?
There's different levels of the void. However, the void it just is. So when you access those levels of the void, that you're accessing the void, if that makes sense. So I guess there are different layers within different realities, but that all originates from the same void.
So when I go into the void, I feel like I'm in a cube. Why do I feel like I'm in a cube?
Well, it's like the room they just showed me where God, it's kind of like the same thing, right? Um, because it's the construct of the reality that you're living in. You can't access higher dimensional things. So there's like walls around it where you're accessing the void in that realm. However, like when the void that I was shown was the void of everything and nothing all at the same time. So there was it was limitless. There was no beginning, there was no end. Right. But when you're in the void, you're in a cube because it's creating walls as to accessing the everything, because you can't access the everything from your plane of existence, because then you would then be taken out of your plane of existence by accessing that information. And so there's constructs around it to prevent you from being to go further from that realm.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so what kind of messages does Source have for us today?
Source just really showed me the infinity sign, which is a sign of just like everything is infinite, everything is limitless, everything, even when you feel that you are in a place of nothingness, that you have the opportunity for everythingness in that same point of existence. That right now, at a place where those constructs and understandings and existence are going to expand and to develop and to grow, and the knowingnesses are going to be downloaded, and understandings as to this next stage of evolution. But to show that it all just originates from the same place. So when you label things with a sense of um, judgment, that is, how can you judge something that exists in the same place of existence and starts from the place of existence? How do you judge those things? And to just allow them to freely be able to use for creativity and for like creation of the reality that you want to exist within your realm. And like I was asking Source, like, okay, so it's a hologram. And like, what does that mean? Because a hologram means that it starts with something and that like it's an imagery that's projected out. Like, are we like Wreck-It Ralph, or are we like the Matrix, or like what is our existence? Like that's been my question this week. And understanding like how does it feel so physical when it's a hologram? And it's like we are just a soul. Like he's showing me like the soul is just this like, okay, so like for my instance it's this little illuminated like light speck of light, right, where this, that's the soul, and the soul is projecting out like everything of the existence around it. So that's what they mean by the holographic nature. Like even your body that you've created, that you are living in, that's a projection of that energy of that same soul. So even though you have these chakra alignments within your body, there is like one point of existence, kind of like a void within yourself, where that soul is existing, that is projecting everything out that you experience in your holographic experience of this realm. And I don't know if that makes sense. The way that he's explaining it, like way it's being explained to me from Source, makes sense to me.
Yeah, and when you say that, immediately what I think of is how we're just all a dot in the center of a circle having an experience.
Yes. But then it projects like that experience just projects out all around you. So that's
Yeah.
why like you could be sitting next to another being and you're having completely different experiences, even though you're in the same projection area. Same sound stage. That's what he was saying. Like I showed you like coming in because it was like I was coming into a sound stage for you, and like showing you like this all is just kind of like a sound stage.
Sorry, I had a
And
question. I lost it.
no,
Um,
it's a, and he said, no, you're not like, and I'm only saying he because that's how he presents himself to me. And that's just childhood beliefs and what corresponds to me. So I want to be very clear in that, that that's what I'm comfortable with. And, but no, you're not Wreck-It Ralph.
so I heard the other day that other realms are more dense than the Earth realm. What does that mean? Like how, like I think a lot of us already feel like Earth is very dense, so how could it possibly be even more dense on the other side?
What they're saying is it's not like, it's not density as far as emotion. The density is the energies are more compact. And that's why you're able to manifest more quick, because you have more compact energies within that area that you're working with. So there's a lot more, like those walls are released and more of that energy comes into that space. So the higher the density, more of those what you would call like the magical creation energies are then impacted like in that space. So it's like an air pressure tank. Like if you were to like put the nozzle on there, like you're filling up one of those air mattresses, right? So it could be like in this density, yes, there's, it's a smaller area and like you have density there. But when we go to a higher density, it's almost like there's more air put in the mattress where it's more of a firm mattress. So you're feeling more of those energies compact within those constructs.
That makes sense. Okay, so lately I've been going down the rabbit hole of the firmament. Does he want to tell you anything about what the firmament is?
You're not going to like the answer. You're ducking and weaving from this question for they want you to be the one to channel this information.
Fine.
I was like telling him, I'm like, this is the first time I've ever had to tell her no. But there's some reason they want you to channel this information.
I already know.
Okay.
I was trying to be sneaky and they knew.
Like you guys are both using me as the middleman. I don't like it. Uh, tell her no. You tell him I want to know.
Oh, can you tell us what does it feel like to be the creator of all things? How's he doing? How's it doing?
Yeah. And and there is balance, but there is also masculine energy that really comes with creation. There's balance of like the creation of femininity, but there's also very masculine energy of creation, like so it's not wrong to perceive creation as a male. That's fine. Like but he said he's doing good. Like he's enjoying the experiences that he's having on so many different levels and growing in depth and understanding of more of just like having an experience with multiple facets of self. And the more and more these experiences occur, the more and more it creates different experiences. So that's just fuels creation. It's kind of like when you get your questions answered through channeling, how it sparks different questions, how it sparks different desires to understand and have an understanding of different depths and different layers to those, answers. And so it's the same thing that source is showing, just on a different level, is like each experience that source has with itself and new understandings, and like, oh, why did this happen, why did what this moment went a little left, like what could I do to, or what could I build on to expand upon a different experience? So it's like that just powers creation. So that's what creates the infinite. That's what fuels the infinite, is these experiences, and then wanting to have different experiences and grow and expand on those experiences. So it is all just one infinite like machine. Like it's never going to cease to exist. It's just going to exist on so many more multifaceted levels as more experiences happen.
So, from his perspective, what is the point of all of this? What is the point to living, having these experiences?
To, in all honesty, how simplified it's being put to me is to answer the what if. What if this happens? What if we do this? What if I try that different? What if it's all the, what if I decide not to do that? What if I decide to do that? What if I decide, it's really just to answer the what ifs
It's
and to
almost
create
like
more what ifs.
so would you say there's like this innate curiosity and consciousness?
Yes. Like there are so many different multi-dimensional answers and understandings that like sources showing that could be provided for me, but the most simple is the what if.
Beautiful. So, what is Source's perspective on the events happening on Earth right now?
The events happening on Earth are all fine and they're all meant to be, and they're all creating different what ifs, what if questions, you know. Uh, War can create, and different things can create the question of like, how do we live in peace, how do we resolve these things, how do we have conflict resolution, there's a lot of different things that these events have, a lot of chain reactions to creating different experiences that are in different polarities. So in war creates peace, creates people, that it creates the pendulum swinging to peace. Peace, people do get bored in peace, if you really want to be honest. And so then it creates different kind of experiences where they go and the pendulum swings to conflict. And it's like, and then there are stages where it's conflict resolution. So there's different stages within these experiences that happen, and they're all purposeful, and they're all to stem and to drive the bigger machine of creation and infinity.
So, what could he tell us about, like, when we feel anxious about these things, how can we connect with source?
You can do something just as easily. I mean, prayer is very helpful in the fact that you're closing your eyes. And they show it in bowing because of the crown chakra. You're kind of, like it's like a symbolism of opening, but you can sit straight up and open up. Like imagine you're like there's a hatch on the top of your head, and just open up that crown chakra and ask to connect with source, ask to connect with me. And if you are feeling anxious, ask to be downloaded with peace and love, or be downloaded with a higher perspective of why this is going on. And anything that you ask that you are wanting to help with that anxiety will be provided as far as emotions.
So, when you see when we hear these spiritual teachers talk, a lot of the spiritual teachers that are here to lead and really guide us, you just see them at such peace. How can we find this peace in our own lives?
Ask for it. And then the experiences that you need to unfold to get to that place of peace will happen. Ask for it. It's the intention that drives the creation. And so you can't have peace without first asking for it. And then you start to be peace. But a lot of times you are given those opportunities to look at triggers, to release some of that stuff so that it's able to be, so you're able to be in peace.
So, how can we start to embody source ourselves?
Have to get to more of an objective place of understanding things. Um, but you also have to respect the fact that you're here to have a human experience. You're here to experience ranges of emotions, because I want to experience those range of emotions and I want to have that experience. So once you get to the place of understanding that everything that you've gone through is okay, because it's fulfilling the greater purpose of creation and the greater purpose of everything. And then you can be like, when you do have those emotions, that you are able to sit with them and be okay with them, because you're understanding that they are there for a purpose and a reason, and that they don't define you, but they have a place of uh the place of existence. Like they're needed as well. And so when you come to that place of being more of an observer, and like respecting that everything has a value and a value and a place in this existence, then you become more, I mean, you're never going to be source, but you become more of an understanding of my position of how, when I see things that may look dense, or I'm experiencing things that may look dense or feel dense, that I have a greater understanding that uh, it's just to answer the what if. Like they're really showing me, like it's showing me like release judgment. Judgment is a huge thing of like, source doesn't judge, source just accepts and appreciates the experiences.
Okay, so I know I've actually had this question lately. So in the Bible, it says that God does not judge. That's why Jesus is here to make that judgment for him. Why in the Bible did they make Jesus the one that makes the final judgment?
Jesus doesn't make the final judgment. You make the judgment within yourself. So what Jesus is representative of is unconditional love and unconditional connection with source, being like, so source is like the father, like that next step is the connection being the son, is just like second in line to being source. So Jesus represents the energy of being unconditional love, that great connection with God, second in line in the lineage. And so we encompass that within ourselves, and we encompass that spark of that creation. We are the children of God, even though you may perceive it as like you have a higher self and you have a soul family, you have an oversoul, you have all these different layers between you and God. That is just not, those are just in place for like a organizational purpose. It's really just to create structure in like keeping all these experiences in somewhat of an, like how he's showing it to me is like a hierarchy, like just like like they're just making sure everything's running smoothly is really what it's about. But it doesn't mean that you are not the son of God, that you are not the daughter of God. It means that you are just as connected as Jesus Christ. So that's why that like judgment place lies within yourself, that you are the ultimate judger. You, that moral compass that you all call that, like that guiding polarity of energy, like frequencies. He's saying that like you are the judger of your own lives. I don't judge you. So it's you guys are there to hold yourselves accountable, and you guys are there to guide the experience that you want to have.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we've all grown up with this idea of what good versus evil is. What can he tell us about these two polarities in our lives?
So he showed me like when you have the magnets and they're next to each other, and the magnets naturally drive each other, like if you push them close enough, right? Like they naturally push the other magnet away. And like they're saying that like all that is the magnetic pull to like to have balance, to constantly try to come back to balance within the universe that you are experiencing. So that's all it is it's really simple and fundamental. Is it's just a magnetic pull to always try to keep the balance within the universe. So there has to always be good versus evil on this realm of 3D, because that's what magnetically balances and pulls and drives evolution. It drives balance. It drives all these things within this earth realm for the experiences that are wanted to be had.
So does the 5D have polarities like this?
Not in the same way. Like there's obviously balance and there's polarity, but what changes is the like higher perspective of understanding the lower polarities in a way. And so they almost don't need to exist. Like they aren't need to be driven. They aren't needed to be engaged in that magnet, because the clicking and the aha moments of opening up your capabilities and understandings and connection to more of source, and that understandings is that the negative polarities are just tools used to drive evolution. And when you are more of an understanding, you don't necessarily need those lower density tools engaged to move forward to evolution, because it's a conscious understanding of evolution. So you're consciously creating evolution instead of being subconsciously pushed towards evolution.
That makes sense. Harry actually had some questions about her life in the near future. Are you able to show her either events in the near future or even 5D Earth, but her life in specific?
So what I'm seeing is just this. So I guess they're showing me the solar event because I'm seeing this big flash of energy and just like I'm connected. Like it connects you, man. It connects you with source and like everything. And that's like one of the questions that I had was like, how do we get activated to the remembrances? And they're just showing me the beautiful light that happens. And they're saying that like it is not written yet, my contract. And so I can still make that decision of what I would like to experience. But for sure, I experience a flash that happens. But they can show me like 5D Earth and what that would look like. But they want me to consciously make that decision of what I would like to do and to create that experience and to use from that flash to connect with everything and nothing all at once and to be the creator of what that looks like. And so, like, they're kind of giving me homework right now, which is really interesting. Um, to really take this time to focus and think and open up my heart space and connect with myself and to let them know what I would like that to look like.
So is this something that you could do in meditation to connect to your higher self? Or how do they want you to do this?
So they're going to be there with me. They show me walking and like having thoughts. So maybe I just need to get out there and walk and let that energy move and connect with them.
And just decide what you want.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Does Source have any other messages for the collective today?
Source is just like saying my children. And it's very beautiful in the way that he loves all of us very much and all in equality. Like no one is loved more than the other. And that love is infinite. So we are all infinitely loved by Source. And like an honor and a gratitude for what we're experiencing in our lives and what we go through to catapult creation forward. And like just as much like he's showing me like flashes, imageries of like different scenes of different lives, like just like going by. And he's saying, like, as much as you may feel immersed in this lifetime, it's just going to be a flash in that long, like, film reel of life. And it's like every one of those is just an individual snapshot in that film reel. And that plays the bigger, like, thing of creation. And it's just like this infinite loop, which it runs. And so, just as much as just like be in this life, like creating experiences, creating creations, moving forward, just knowing that like there are infinite numbers of these experiences that you're going to have. So don't get too lost in the details of these experiences. Just be as present and you as you can, honoring and like sending honor and gratitude to the experiences that you are experiencing, knowing that they are just a flash in that long, infinite movie reel of life.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.